Alright, what's up everybody? We are on the 4th episode of Death Note, which I have not even checked out what the name of it is, but I see here that it is called Pursuit. Once again, I feel like this might then be the episode where I originally stopped watching 10 years ago. Because I did remember, a certain detail as I watched the last episode still, is that we found out how Light's father is actually part of the police force. And yeah, even though that did once again come as a huge surprise to me, I think afterwards I started to realize like, oh, I might have known that detail actually. So, good to know. But I'm looking forward to basically. I'm pretty sure that from here on out, essentially, it's going to be all new information for me, very soon at least. And God, what else can I say about this? It's been so great. I gotta say that like. I was sitting here being like, oh, maybe I can do 3 episodes back to back, but I've just watched one, and the amount of information that the show already throws at you is ridiculous, to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to be entirely drained after I watch this 4th episode now, because, again, things move very fast. We had that little detail there at the end, where Ryuk, I say little detail, but it was quite a big thing. Ryuk was talking to Light about... explaining him the rules and telling him that he could kind of give him his eyes. And with his eyes, he could be actually identifying people, seeing their names, also seeing their remaining lifespan. And Light could get these from him if he was willing to reduce his own lifespan by basically half. Those eyes could very well come in handy. Again, I'm not sure if he's going to immediately take them or not, but we'll see. They could very well come in handy because there is a guy trailing him right now who he might want to get rid of. Who that guy is, I have no idea. Although, we saw a quick glimpse of what he looked like. And I genuinely wasn't sure if this was supposed to be the same guy that we saw in the police force. Who was kind of asking, pointing out certain details that not everybody was as appreciative of. But I like that also about Light's dad. Who told him, like, good on you for just saying it, because, I mean, as long as you don't actually think that the guy that we're following, Kira, doesn't deserve punishment or whatever, you can bring up that he's still reducing the crime rate and stuff, and that people are more hesitant to commit crimes now because of him. Yeah, that's, of course, again, I mean, nothing is entirely black or white, right? There is definitely positives to Light being able to play God in this universe right now, because people are much more reluctant to actually want to commit crimes and stuff, knowing that it might very well mean that they will die of heart attacks, in an instant, or in the not so foreseeable time. That being said, I'm just excited to dive in. It's cool to see, of course, the continuing battle between Light and L, where Light is trying to kind of separate L from the police force itself, turn them against each other. We see already how some of the people in the police were hesitant and basically wanted to resign because they realized that their lives might be at risk. Whereas you've got this L guy who is great and all, and like super talented, and he is catching on to everything that Light is apparently doing. But at the same time, he's anonymous, and so he is not so much at risk yet until Light figures out his identity. So, again, a lot going on, but I can't wait to see where it goes. If you enjoy these reactions of me to Death Note, then you can already watch the next 8 episodes right now over on Patreon. We will be up until episode 12, actually, over there right now, which is linked on top of the description. So definitely go and check it out. Your support is, of course, very much appreciated and actually helps me to make these videos in the first place. But yeah, you can, basically watch all the way up until episode 12, as well as full-length reactions if you want to see me react to these episodes in their entirety. But then with that being said, I think I managed to get everything out of the way, so I look forward to diving back in. Here we go. I'm actually thinking now, the apple, right? I mean, they keep showing it, but kind of made me think about, like, Adam and Eve, the apple too. Like, maybe it kind of represents the temptation. I don't know if it's going to be like a specific concrete storyline still coming up with the apple or anything, or if it's just in the intro only. So, I just do like how the show makes you think like that a lot. Looks like I'm actually wearing a light shirt. I just realized that. You gotta love starting off with a Nani.
その人間の残りの寿命の半分
You'd have to assume he would take it, because otherwise they wouldn't be introducing this element to the story. Oh, we're back in the realm. So tedious. Well, what are you doing here? Oh, so, okay. Yeah, neither do we. Interesting how they had all these jewels and stuff. I don't know what that's about. Okay. Well, for now. I'm sure he'll change his mind eventually. Something has to happen for him to do that. The question is, how quickly? Oh, yeah. As long as possible.
こういう話を早くしておかないと後で文句言われても嫌だからな。こういう話は早くしておかないと。だったら
It's never good enough for them.
仮にも死神である俺を恐れることもなく、こびることもなく、こういうことに関してはガンガン突っ込んでくる。
Yeah. Well, I spoke about that, how like he was never afraid in the first place either, even seeing him. I would have been.
ああ、もうない。
残念
だ。残念。
目でなく翼だったら本気で取引を考えたかもしれない。翼を持って空を自由に飛ぶなんて。
Well, I mean, we see him with wings in the intro, don't we? Like an angel.
それだけで警察に捕まりそうだが。
Yeah, true.
今のは冗談だり。
I fucking love it.
メダの翼だの取引していくうちに、いつの間にか本当の死神にされてしまう。
そんなことしなくてもライト。お前はもう立派な死神だ。今の死神界は腐ってるからな。人の寿命をいただき、漠然と生きている奴らばっかり。
Yeah, they have all these collector's items, I guess.
存在しているのかすら、もう誰にもわからない。お前の方がよっぽど死神らしい。
Oh, yeah.
話を聞いてると、僕の方がよっぽど働いているみたいだけど。
Because all this other shinigami don't seem to really line up with Ryuk well.
人間のためにデスノートを使っているんだ。リュウクのような死神が100年、いや、1000年に一度でも降りてきただけで、人間界は大きく変わるんだ。恐ろしく意味ある存在だよ、死神界は。
そうか。
リュウクが帰った時、人間界に来たことを生かして変えてみたらどうだ？
Interesting.
I
don't know if that's the description I would give to him, but...
当たり前じゃないか。わかった。今日僕を尾行してたやつの名前を知る方法だよ。
Okay. Without the eyes, I assume.
死因を書くとさらに6分40秒。詳しい死の状況を記載する時間が与えられる。
What does that mean? How does he want to use that?
また刑務所内の犯罪者が6人。3人が死の直前に今までにない行動？
Okay, so this ties into what he talked about.
刑務所の壁に自分の指を切った血で。
Okay.
もう一人は遺書とも何とも言えない文章を残しています。3人目に至っては脱走してわざわざ職員用のトイレの中で。今までと少し違う心臓麻痺の被害者が。
So could light somehow cause that?
現場に残された絵と文章の画像を送ります。
今回の犠牲者の件ですが、報道関係には心臓麻痺以上のことは発表しないでください。
Okay, what else do they know?
犯罪者によって何かのテストをしている可能性があります。だとすると、わざわざ答えを教えてやることになりますので。
この命をまるでゲームを楽しむかのように、絶対に許せん。
Oh man.
犯罪者で実験をしているとしたら、何が狙いだ?
Well, he said it would have to do with the guy trailing him or something, right? I mean, that's who he's trying to get rid of.
もう昨日の6人のテスト結果が打ち込まれている。1人は脱走してからノートに指定したトイレに行き、もう1人は僕がノートに書いた絵と同じ絵を描いて。
Okay, so he could just write these things down and they would perform it.
この3人は僕の思い通りになったわけだ。 他の3人はわざとかなり無理な死の状況を書いてみたんだ。1時間後にフランスのエッフェル塔の前で死ぬ。日本の刑務所にいた人間が1時間後にフランスなんてただの心臓麻痺。
Oh, okay.
刑務所の壁に L そっくりの似顔絵を描いた。
Yeah, but we don't know L's identity.
俺は L が日本警察を疑っていることを知っている。そう書き残すように指示した。本人の知らない情報や考えもしないその人間が書くには不自然すぎることを。
Okay, okay, okay. Holy shit, this is so much to process.
ノートでもありえないことはできない。名探偵は当分犯罪者の残した絵や文章の謎解きに夢中でいるに違いない。
Yeah, when that doesn't matter, really.
ダイイングメッセージの
Yeah, exactly. It's pointless. You can just throw him off that way again. Where is this L guy even sitting? What a basement dweller. I mean, yeah, that's what you would think, but it's... Oh, did it say something?
昨日ニュースでやっていた
Purposefully.
銀行を襲ったが金を奪えず一般人を襲って逃げた麻薬常習犯。当日だけどなんとかなるだろう。何人か当たってみよう。こう見えても僕は結構モテるんだよ。
もしもし。え、ライト？
Okay, who is this?
おはよ
Is this Death Note's version of Mikasa?
尾行はついているな。それでいい。
I don't think it's that guy though. I think it's somebody we don't know.
意味がなくなってしまう。
So what, this is like a, yeah, a date?
どう見ても思いっきりデートさ。
一体何をするつもりなんだ？
Well, I assume use her to find that out or something in some way.
見ていなかったのか？
ああ、それ見ちゃうとつまらないからな。
It would be boring to peek, he just wants to find out. Yeah.
それよりスペースランドなんて中学の時以来楽しみ。
They're going to Space Land.
あ、うん。
Okay, okay, okay. This girl likes him definitely a lot.
学校と予備校に行くくらい八神局長の息子ライト疑う余地なし
No grounds for suspicion. It really is just
と
like
りあえず
somebody, yeah,
今日一
shadowing
日の
him.
行動を見て終わりだ
受験終わるまでは遊ばないとか言ってなかった？
ああ、それは全国模試1位の立場だから。
Just went to sit right behind him. I feel kind of sad for this girl because he's he's clearly not here for the purpose that she thinks he is. Oh no, who is this?
来た。これなら全てうまくいく。
Okay. Oh shit. He's hijacking the bus.
バスジャックこんな時に
スペースランドの事務所の電話番号は知っているな。かけろ。
So he wrote this down.
昨日の売り上げをスペースランド2つ手前のバス停まで下手な小細工したり警察に知らせたりした。
Is it to make himself kind of a victim? A victim of this situation so that again he's not suspected? Because why would you make yourself a victim?
犯人の隙を見て僕がピストルを持った手を押さえる。
危険だやめろ
Huh?
その時は私がやる
He's just talking to him now.
筆談などしなくても
あの犯人と共犯者でないという証拠はありますか？
共犯？
よくあるケース。
That's not what I would think about in that moment, but
いざという時のためにあらかじめ後方からの見張りを置いておく。
八神ライトがキラであるわけがないキラなら犯人を心臓麻痺で殺せるんだ
hmm.
これが証拠だ見てくれ
FBI そうだ。L は FBI を使って日本警察関係者を調べさせていたのか。
Wow, what the hell? Yeah, that's a good That's a good good way of finding out the identity.
今あえてここに乗り合わせたのかは聞きませ
He
ん。
told him he was suspecting him. How funny is that?
では、いざという時はお任せしていいですね。
おい、お前動くな。
Oh shit.
なんだその髪は。
Wow, I assume that was meant to happen.
まずい
Or not.
見られた
デートの約束かよ。くだらね
やった。
え。なんだてめえは。そこで め一番後ろのやついつからそこにいた俺のことか
Oh shit!
俺の姿が見えるのかそうかさっきライトの落としたデートの約束メモこいつにだけ俺の姿を見せる
Oh, yeah. So he touched the death note, technically. What the hell, man? Oh, he's creeped out of his mind. God, those eyes. Look at this close-up. He really is using all the information that Ryu gave him. And now this guy is just like moving right through him. Ah. Death came at him swiftly. What a situation. Wow, the positive news is you can have a nice, fun day at Spaceland now. Right on schedule. Yep, he planned this out exactly, of course. Wow. So elaborate. Jesus Christ, man, this is already getting crazy. I love how this episode was just one elaborate tactic to figure out who was basically trailing him, right? And yeah, getting to figure out that name. And he did such a good job of essentially, and by he I obviously mean Light, but just combining all of the information that we had gotten over the past 3 episodes. And well, even some new information, of course, on this episode, where he figured out that he could actually make his victims do what was realistically possible before that death now as well. So, of course, he first experimented by having those 3 guys. Well, actually, it was 6 guys, right? And he wrote down something for all of them to do. But essentially 3 scenarios were not really realistic and 3 others were. So those that ended up being realistic, they actually did execute on what he wrote down, and the others didn't. Yeah, and you know, like that made him figure out what he could and couldn't do. And then here, yeah, it's so genius how he turns around the suspicion actually on the guy chasing him, who's like sitting right behind him in the bus, right? Being like, oh, well, I mean, you could just be working together with the guy hijacking the bus right now, because that's a common, you know, tactic or something that they do, is already have somebody watching in the back just to be sure. And so that got him to win his trust, and it got him to actually, you know, not suspect him anymore, because the guy in the bus, Ray, I think he was called, he would know that Kira would be able to actually write down the name and just kill the guy. Yeah, if he showed up like this and got into a, you know, life-threatening situation that he did. So again, it's like, it's such a huge chess game, right? And I keep saying that, but it's a lot to keep track of. Also with how Light then actually drops a piece of paper that's from the Death Note, which caused the guy to actually see Ryuk, right? Because like Ryuk explained how if somebody touches the Death Note or whatever, they actually get to see him there in the moment. And so that's what literally happened. It was fantastic. It was yeah, it was great. And it's like, okay, so now Light knows that the FBI is chasing him. This Ray guy is. Well, as he basically teases in the episode itself, now Ray, you're up next. So I assume that's what we're gonna get to. Cool as well how in the beginning of the episode he doesn't take the deals of the eyes, which doesn't exactly come as a surprise to me. I mean, it's like I was ready for him to take them, but at the same time I realized like, oh, it might as well be something that they will keep for a later point. Like there is no doubt in my mind later on in the show he will get the Shinigami eyes, or maybe somebody else will or whatever, right? Or he manages to like have somebody else get them somehow, or I don't know what will happen, but that is obviously an element that will come back into play. It's not everything, like I said already I think in the intro for this video, every single scene that's in this show has a purpose ultimately. And so, yeah, very much looking forward to finding out, you know, what those purposes are. Cool too, maybe one more thing to mention, like we get really bits and pieces of that, of what is going on in the Shinigami realm, and Ryuk kind of expresses his discontent or whatever with the current state of it and all the people, you know, that are in there, those guys, because they're not real Shinigami anymore. And you know, they just, I don't know, it's like, it's funny because the Shinigami guys that are, you know, like all the other ones, they keep talking about of Ryuk in a way where like they don't really see eye to eye with him or something. They've kind of fallen out, if that makes sense. Ryuk as well is just like super disappointed with how everybody in the Shinigami realm behaves right now. It's like those guys are just, you know, they're just satisfied and happy with being bored, whereas Ryuk is not. I mean, he literally mentions how like he did this to combat his boredom or whatever, right? And all these guys are just still chilling in his realm. With what I assume are kind of like tokens, or how should I put that, like collector's items or whatever of the people that they've killed. So they have all these jewel, you know, like pieces of clothing with like jewels on it or whatever, right? And it was like I don't know, some other stuff that we saw. Fantastic, and I wonder where it's gonna go. You know, Ryuk already called Light a better Shinigami than any of the guys currently in the realm, so makes me wonder, like, yeah, are we gonna see Light eventually actually join him there or something, right? Again, it's this show does a great job of just setting up particular storylines, and it makes me, that's always the hard part for me. Like, I'm very much able to sort of collect it and just kind of all put it together and see how it all makes sense already, but it's hard for me to tell where is it going to go from here. I always struggle with predictions and just like that intuition of getting to see like, oh, so this is where it could be going in or something. It's like I realize fully well what they're setting up, but it's super hard to tell what they're setting it up for, if that makes sense. So I'm just I'm gonna think that through a little bit in the coming week, you know, before I continue with episode 5, and then maybe I'll have something more to share. Yeah, by the time we get around to that. For now, I hope you all enjoyed my reaction, of course, to this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The next 8 episodes will already be up over on Patreon right now for you to check out. We will be up until episode 12, actually, so that is linked on top of the description, and you can check it out right now, along with full-length reactions if you want to see me react to the entire episodes. But then with that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you back in the next episode.